Welcome back. Now, every marriage is the product of a union, and sometimes friction occurs between the parties involved in this union. While this is bound to occur, many marriages might spell doom for many a marriage if not handled properly. To discuss this, I have here with me Mr. Lanre Olushola, who's recognized as one of Africa's premier life, mind, behavioral change coaches. Welcome to the show, sir.
Hi, thank you very much for having me on the show this morning.
All right, so now, simply put, marriage is an agreement. Two parties, a man and a woman, they come together as friends, lovers, to start a home. So I guess the first question would be, what are those key issues or factors that could cause conflict in this home?
I mean, it's quite interesting that you define marriage as friendship and love.
Yeah.
Because, you know, one of the critical factors that gets in the way is people transition from friendship into roles.
Okay.
So they stop being friends
Okay.
and they stop being best of friends. They transition into husband and wife. So they lose the integrity of the real foundation that will hold the marriage together. And then when the children leave,
Okay.
the thing that will keep them in their old age. So people stop being best of friends. And then secondly, you talked about love, the definition and essence of love. You know, people define love as a feeling. As a feeling that you felt that you've never felt before.
Okay.
But, you know, if we look at the true definition of love, love is a dedicated, affectionate commitment to the well-being of someone else. So love is about selflessness. It's about the well-being of someone else. It's about looking out to meet the needs of your spouse. So people are seeking for that feeling that they felt when they first met. And they want to keep that feeling, they want to sustain that feeling, and that's an aspiration in futility because the reality of life kicks in. There's diesel, there's generator, there's traffic, there's money, there's children, there's school fees. And so, you know, you don't keep that feeling as you had when you were dating, when you first met, or when you were courting.
Okay, so is it an issue of changing priorities in this home? So the priority was trying to get that feeling back. Maybe it should change from that to something else. Is that what you're saying?
No, I think the issue is people do not understand that change is a constant and things change. One. Two is they don't understand the true context and meaning and purpose of what they're doing. So, for example, now, if we look at love, people have defined love as a feeling. And so if they don't feel that feeling anymore, they feel like the other party doesn't love them anymore. Yeah. And, you know, the whole concept of friendship is lost. And so you are relating with him and your expectations are for what you expect a husband to do based on what you have seen someone else's husband doing, based on what you've read, you know, based on your father and your mother's relationship and what you saw them do. So expectations begin to get in the way, and a lot of expectations are unrealistic.
Okay, so I'm thinking about the fact that these two people come from different backgrounds, different homes, different setups, different understanding of the word itself, conflict. How do people manage conflict? Because it does seem like conflict is a constant. Yeah. It just depends on how it's managed. But what exactly is conflict?
All right. I think conflict is one of the most natural things that occur when two or more people come together. It's normal. However, you know, we get into conflict for two critical reasons. Well, three critical reasons. One, our vision on our goals and our aspirations in life are different.
Okay. So
when yours is different from mine, that's a conflict. Second is my values, that is the laws that govern my existence and guide my decisions. My values are different from yours. And third, my core beliefs are different from yours. Now, with these three differences, right, you would always have conflict. Unfortunately, with the last two, which are values and beliefs, we inherit from our parents, and we inherit them unconsciously. So you find that two married people are constantly in conflict with each other and they can't get over it. They can't deal with it. They can't resolve it because they didn't even know that they had inherited their father's values and beliefs. Now, you find in a home where you and I are married, and then I bring in my father's values, you bring in your mother's values, so your father is at conflict, my father is at conflict with your mother, and then we're hoping to resolve the conflict. How can we resolve the conflict when it's other parties that are at conflict? Now, the way to go is, first of all, in every home, like in every organization, there must be a constitution.
Okay.
And the constitution has to be centered around those three critical things. Number one,
vision,
where
values,
are we going?
And core beliefs.
Yes, where are we going?
Yeah.
Right? Do our vision and our goals in life, do they align? Do our purposes align, right? Are we complementing each other in achieving our vision and our purpose and our goals? Secondly, is our values, do they conflict or do they complement each other?
So when do I find out that? Is that before we get married or is it?
That's what you're supposed to be doing when you're dating and courting. That's why it's called courtship. I ask you questions. I put you in the jury box and I continue to ask you questions. So, you know, there are fundamental questions that you must ask before you say I do. And if you do not ask those questions, you can't get those answers. So we've talked about background differences.
Yes.
Yes.
So in the Constitution, where are we going? Our values aligned. You said there's a third thing.
Beliefs, our core beliefs. Now, man's existence is shaped by his beliefs. People can do anything for their beliefs, and people will protect their beliefs. So when there are conflicts in values and beliefs, you see the animal in people.
Okay.
They are wondering that this man never used to behave like this. Or this man is guarding his values and beliefs because that is the core of his essence. I mean, that is the law, the rules, the standards that guide his thoughts and his decisions. And as a man thinks, so is he.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm kind of connecting this issue of beliefs to religion. So that does take us down another road that we might not be able to cover today. But then regarding beliefs, the issue of who is believed to be in charge of the purse of the home also comes up.
Cash money.
The money.
Yeah.
So the money question, it's such a big question. A lot of people tend to believe that money is the main instigator of conflict in the home. Is this true? And if it is, what can we do about it?
Well, money constitutes approximately 40 to 45% of the conflicts, right?
Okay.
And lack of sexual satisfaction constitutes another 40%. So a combination of, you know, money issues and lack of sexual satisfaction, you know, constitute about 80% of most conflicts in marriages. Now, with money issues, we're talking about, you know, what you inherited. Also, a lot of people tend to do two things. Oh, my father was a spendthrift. He never catered to our needs, so I will never be like him. So you have developed your values and your beliefs based on your father's inadequacies, his strengths, you know. Or another set of people say, wow, this is how my father did it, so that's how I'm going to do it. But you see, these decisions are made unconsciously. You never actually sat down one day and said to yourself, you know, most people, that yes, this is how I'm going to live my life. I'm going to imbibe my father's values. They creep in on you. And so you find that many people are living their lives and managing, you know, their affairs, financial affairs, based on what they've learned. And all you have learned is all you know. And all you have learned is not all there is to know. So the question is, where are you learning about financial management? You know, so, and another thing is, your wife may be more equipped to deal with financial issues because you're a spendthrift. Any money that comes into your hands, you blow it.
Yeah.
So why not defer that role to her? Ego.
All right.
Oh, I'm the man, I must be in control. But you do not know how to manage money. She is a more adept money manager.
Okay. So there's still so many questions we could ask on this topic, but I know we'll be inviting you back regularly by popular demand to the studio to keep talking about this. So this issue of conflict in marriage, we're going to continue the conversation on social media. Please tweet to us. What do you believe is the main reason for marital conflict? And let's keep this going. Don't forget to tweet to us at TVC Connect with the hashtag WakeUpNigeria. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much
for coming to the studio today. We're still here for quite a bit and there's still so much more in store. After the break, Mike is standing by with the amazing Wale Rubber. Stay with us.
Welcome back. Akinwale Shodade, popularly known as Wale Rubber, is a multidisciplinary dance artist and instructor. He's an all-round entertainer with over 15 years. 15? It's not more than 15. 15. Okay, 15 years of experience in the industry. He has performed in over 1,000 shows across the globe. He also served as a judge and instructor in a major dance reality show across Nigeria. Now, some people might not know, but I was also a part of that show, and Wale was my judge. That was 2009, 2010, 2011. Okay, so it's great to have you here, Wale. Great to have you. Okay, so what are we doing today?
We're going to, you and I, we're going to dance.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So we're going to learn a couple of moves where people at home can join us.
Can do. Okay,
Yeah.
so at home, get into your sneakers or whatever. Don't worry why on tie and two. Don't worry about that. But we'll just show you stuff that they can do, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so let's go.
Simple
Let's go.
stuff. All right, very easy. All right, let's start. Alright, come here.
Baby, I go take care of you, passing on it.
Right,
Okay.
left,
Are you
right,
getting
left.
Are
Alright,
you
we're going to
getting
put the two together.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay.
5, 6, 7, 8.
Are you getting Are you getting Mama boy, you Your mama boy, you well.
Alright, let's go.
And you're beautiful too. I want to hold you. I want to hold you.
Shake
Girl,
it up.
I love you.
Hey.
Girl, I
Yeah.
wanna love you well. I know you fell in love, but nobody got you. When I got to your body, oh, Rabedi sika mi yodo, your body, oh. Now you wake up on my money.
You guys having fun there. Oh.
I like this your body, oh. Rabedi sika
let's see you
mi
move your
yodo,
Wow.
your body, oh.
Then you go
Now
to
you
for like.
wake up on my money, oh. Girl, I want to know who be who. You go to level. Where are you, Scooby-Doo?
Yeah, flip.
Most of your friends now baloo.
For the ladies, let's go.
Malo rekrekete, malo rekrekete.
What's that dance?
Thunder fire the person. We say I no go love you. Mama born you, your mama born you. And you're beautiful too. I want to hold you, I want to hold you. Girl, I love you.
Alright, let's go.
Girl, I wanna love you. I know you fell in love, but nobody caught you.
Let's go.
When I got to your body, oh, Rabedi sika mi yodo, your body, oh. Now you wake up on my money, oh.
You know the go out, go
This your
out. Let's
body,
go.
oh. Rabedi sika mi yodo,
Hey.
your body, oh. Now you wake up on my money, oh. I'm gonna stick with you like a
Fine boy
bamboo.
dance.
Are you getting me?
Now let's pay the money. Now let's pay the money.
Pepper the rest, tomato, you tomato.
To the other side.
Are you getting me? Yeah. Are you getting me?
Let's go.
I got to your body, oh. Rabedi sika mi yodo, your body, oh. Now you wake up on
Have you
my
danced
money,
small
oh.
calabar dance?
I like this your body, oh. Rabedi sika mi yodo,
They want it now.
now you
Nice
wake
one.
up on my money, oh.
Okay.
You know say I go shashamura, oh baby, shashamura, oh baby. Forget about Obi and Kelly, only me and you, baby, just me and you, baby,
Nice one, nice one.
Okay. Even when I didn't even do workout. Now this one, Wale just made me do this, but then this is Wale, so I have to do that. Okay. So thank you very much, Wale. It was great having you. Right. So let's see what's going on with the food in the kitchen. Miyante, what's up?
Okay, so we're still getting our parties ready.
So the parties are ready, basically. Just before the parties are ready, let's just mix our pancake batter.
Okay.
So this is flour, this is baking powder, this is salt, this is a little bit of sugar.
Let's
You don't
remind
want
our
to-
audience what we're
Yes,
making.
we're
Our
making
viewers what we're making.
We're making pancake burger, and the whole idea is trying to replicate a burger, but infusing breakfast elements into it. So basically, this is flour, salt, sugar, baking powder.
Okay.
You know, just the regular. Add your milk to it.
Just milk?
Yes, just, no, we're still adding the 1 egg.
All right.
So we're just going to stir and see if that milk was enough. If it's not enough, we add more.
You want
Apparently,
me to add
yes,
more?
yes,
Okay.
it's not enough.
Let me know when it's enough.
Yeah. Okay, wait.
That's too much.
Because we really want our pancake batter to be quite thick, very thick in fact, because we are trying to make it look like a burger bun.
Okay.
Yes, like the bread they use for burgers. So you could add a little bit more.
Milk?
Yeah, yes.
Okay. So it's important to carefully watch out for how much milk
yes. You could just use the normal measurements. You know, we've made pancakes countless times here. You could just refer back to the recipe and just make okay, still a little bit thick.
One more milk.
Just
One
a
more
little.
milk?
Yes, I want more milk. Just a little bit more.
Is that enough?
Yeah, I think this should be enough. So if we had enough time to make bread rolls, we would actually be making bread rolls.
With this mixture?
No, not with this mixture.
Oh, okay.
You know, we could just make bread rolls from scratch to make the burger buns, but it's take a whole lot of time. Yeah.
Okay.
So now our pancake batter is ready. We set it aside. Let's just set that aside.
Okay.
So yeah.
So let's remind our viewers what we added to how we created the patties.
Okay. So this is basically ground beef.
Okay.
Onion powder, garlic powder, black pepper, breadcrumbs, and egg.
Okay.
Yes, with salt.
With salt.
Yes. So usually.
So the essence of the breadcrumbs again.
Yes, is to retain the shape. Yeah, and the egg is to make it moist and soft. And so when you're biting into it, you see how moist it is and very, very nice. It makes it better.
I needed to learn how to make patties. It was it's very important.
Important.
Very important.
So I like to do something. I like to do testing. That is why this small one is here. So I just need to know. I've done the testing, with the salt level, but I just want to do another testing, you know, because I like things being very perfect. So a little bit of olive oil in your pan, and you're not exactly frying it, like, you know.
You
Yeah.
You mean the patties or the?
Yeah, the patties.
Oh, okay.
You're not exactly frying it. You just want it to. You just want it to be a little bit greased, you know. Okay. You're more like, I won't call it searing, you know, but that is what you're actually doing. Yeah, you're just cooking it lightly. You're doing a light frying. You're not deep frying the whole thing.
But then, how can you be sure that the heat has gotten into the patties when you start frying? Well,
it's really not so difficult to know, because frying patties, they take about 5 minutes on both sides. You know, 5 minutes. Okay. That's even too long, you know. But you could tell, you know, patties do not take so long. It depends on how thick the patty is, though. If it's very thick, 5-6 minutes on both sides, you know. But once you can tell when it's cooked, because it begins to brown. It's no longer pink.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, let's take one. Yeah. This is not exactly where we want it to be.
Okay. The oil has to be really hot.
Yes, it has to be hot. It has to be quite hot, you know.
Okay. All right.
All right, we could just put one in. You do not hear the sound.
No. So apparently it's not hot.
It's not hot enough, yes.
Okay.
So we just leave it alone. We could still leave it alone. But you don't want it too hot. You want your heat to be medium-low. So when you're cooking it, it doesn't cook unevenly, because the outside might be cooked and the inside is still undone. Okay. Yeah. So you just need medium-low heat. It's hot enough, but not too hot to burn it.
Okay. All right.
So we just leave it here, and we are sure the pancake batter is here. Everything is almost coming into place. Then we are going to add sunny side up. These 2 eggs left is to add sunny side up to it. And
okay, I love it when I make sunny sides up, because it makes me look like a chef.
Yes.
It gives you that, you know, just that, it gives you that feel in the kitchen, like, oh, you're doing something really nice.
Basically, everything here is just basic elements in breakfast. We're having pancakes, we're having patties, you're having sunny side up, you're having cheese. It's just bringing everything together and making it look like a burger. That's why it's more like a breakfast burger.
Okay.
Yeah. So you can see it's already cooking.
Yes.
Yeah. And there's this unique smell of ground beef. Very unique.
Okay, I don't know if it's just me, but whenever I am using ground beef or anything in this, you know, any beef or fish or whatever, regardless of, okay, yeah, even though it's in its form, I always like to wash it thoroughly. Do you do that?
Wow, you can't wash this.
But I do.
No. You can't
I
actually.
do, and then I sieve it. But I know very much that I won't be able, I know I won't be able to get it in this form if I have to make passes.
Do not wash
I don't know, I guess it's just my psyche, really.
Yes, I understand. It's a Nigerian thing that you need to wash everything.
Yeah, you need to wash
like,
everything.
Yes, but you actually need to wash everything, but it's not something like ground beef.
Well.
So this is cooking. You could see it's sizzling already. Oil is sizzling. You want to add the ground beef to you want to add your patty to your pan when the oil is sizzling already. Okay. So this is the right amount of time you need to add your patty. Can you see how it's cooking already? It's brown. Yeah. It's getting brown. So in the next 2-3 minutes, you just flip it. Yeah. Once I flip it, I'm going to add the cheese on it because I want the cheese to melt on it. Oh,
you're going to add the cheese to that?
Yes. Yes. Okay. Or you could just slot in the cheese, whichever way you want it. But I want to add the cheese now.
So you should just trickle down.
Yes.
The beef. Ooh,
yes.
Yummy.
Yes.
I can't wait. All right. So quickly, what are we making?
Pancake burger or breakfast burger.
Okay.
We're making use of pancakes, we're making use of patties, we're making use of sunny side up, and we're making use of cheese. So we're bringing everything together and it looks fantastic.
Okay.
So we've made the pancake batter. That will be coming on later. We're making the patties already, and later on, almost when we are almost done, we make our sunny side up and just arrange everything together.
All right. So is it time for us to flip it over?
You know,
I think it's also important to let our viewers know that while you're searing that, right? You don't leave it and go to watch.
No. you obviously you're cooking, so you have to leave it. You have to watch it thoroughly, like. Because if you don't watch it,
because that happens a lot. You leave something on it's going to take a while to cook. Let me quickly catch a glimpse of your favorite TV show on television. Then when you come, it's burnt. No,
you do not want that. You do not want to do that because once you're making something like this, as tricky as this, it takes less than 10 minutes. So you just want to watch it because it could easily burn. Your light could go, the heat could go too high or too low, you know, depending on what you do. So you have to watch it like
closely.
Watch it closely. So in about 4 minutes, the other side is going to be done. Okay. And you just take it out and just keep it somewhere.
All right.
So yes, the cheese is on it and
it's not melting yet.
Yeah, it's not. Eventually, it will.
I've always wondered what's the difference between mozzarella cheese and cheddar cheese.
Mozzarella is sharper. Sorry, cheddar. It's sharper. It has this salty taste. While mozzarella is more gooey. You know, mozzarella is mostly used for pizza. Oh. Whenever you use mozzarella, most pizzas, they're mozzarella because it has this gooey feel and it's drawing like, yeah.
Okay.
You know? So you can see the cheese is already melting. Yes. Can you see?
Oh, that looks really good. I hope you're watching. After the commercial break, we'll be right back with more entertainment on Wake Up Nigeria. Stay with us.